Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I of course am just another heavy metal maniac, and today I am doing another discography ranking. You're getting two discography rankings in one day today. I just posted my Slayer discography ranking, so you're getting one new discography ranking and one old one, because this is a remake of my Cirith Ungol ranking. Cirith Ungol, one of my all-time favorite bands. Very unique, cool blend of US power metal and heavy metal and doom metal. And yeah, this band is super unique, super awesome. Short discography, but it is full of bangers. So without further ado, enough of my ramblings, let's just get into the video. Coming in at number 6 for me, it is Paradise Lost, released in 1991. This was their final album before they initially broke up. So for me, there are 4 albums on this song. Or 4 songs on this album, sorry, got tongue twisted there. There are 4 songs on this album that are really, really amazing. The opening track, Join the Legion, is awesome. I love that song a lot. Chaos Rising is amazing. I love Chaos Rising. Fallen Idols is probably my favorite Cirith Ungol song ever, honestly. Well, it's definitely in my top 3 for sure. I love the song Fallen Idols. And the title track is really, really good too. So yeah, those 4 tracks really, really hit hard. The other songs on this album, while they're good, they're not particularly heavy hitters in my opinion. They're just kind of there. There are 2 covers on this album. So yeah, and they're fine. They're not bad or anything. But again, they're just kind of there. I will give this album credit for the production. I think it's of their classic era. I think this album sounds really, really, really good. Now, I did read that for the original drummer of this band, Robert Galton, this is his least favorite album. He said he didn't like the label interference and that he wasn't really big on this album. So yeah, so even the band themselves aren't really big on this album, but I do think this is still a really good album. Like I said, I love those 4 songs. It's just the other 5 don't hit as hard as they should, in my opinion. So that's why Paradise Lost for me is number 6. Number 5 is their newest album and probably their final album, Dark Parade, which came out just last year, 2023. And I do really like this album. This is an absolutely killer album. You know, a band that at this point, they were like all in their late 60s, early 70s when they made this album. And it sounds absolutely incredible. Production is great. They sound inspired, they got great riffs, and again, it's this cool blend. There's tons of like doom riffs, there's power metal on here as well, and there's some really killer songs. Velocity, SEP, I'm not sure what SEP stands for, but that song is really good. Sailor on the Seas of Fate is really good. The title track is awesome. Looking Glass is really damn good. Distant Shadows is really good too. Yeah, I do really, really enjoy this album. Again, I'm kind of shocked, like, how a band this late into their career can sound this good. I just put it at number 5 because I can't rank it higher than, other than Paradise Lost, I can't possibly rank this album higher than their classic material. So for me, it's number 5, even though I do think it's really, really good. Yeah, again, this album is just killer, and they shouldn't be releasing albums this good this late into their career. Like, same thing with Judas Priest. It's like, these old guys can still show the young kids what the fuck is up, and that's awesome. So number 4 for me is Forever Black, which was released in 2020. Yeah, this was their original kind of comeback album, the one that came out before Dark Parade. And yeah, so again, this album is pretty damn killer. This is, I think, one of the greatest comeback albums of all time. I like the opening track, Legions Arise, a lot, not just because it's an absolutely killer song, but because it's like a callback to like their older stuff. The Legions have gone away for a while, and now they need to rise again to fight this new threat that's popped up. And there's some other really absolutely killer songs on here. The Fire Divine is an awesome song. Stormbringer, Nightmare, again, the title track is really good. This band is really killer at writing title tracks, you'll find. Yeah, I think this album is absolutely killer. I think the production is great. Tim Baker, his voice really has not aged that much at all, which is, again, remarkable. Some people hate his vocals, and I totally get that. It's very much an acquired taste, but I absolutely love his vocals. He has such a unique and such an iconic delivery. There's like no one in metal who sounds like him, and I think he just has a really, really awesome voice. So yeah, for me, Forever Black it's pretty much the same deal with Dark Parade. I do really like it. I think it's absolutely killer, but there's no way I can rank it higher than their classic album. So for me, it's number 4. So coming in now at number 3, it is Frost and Fire, released in 1981. This, of course, being their very first album. This album, I think, is kind of underrated. I think this whole band is underrated, but this album in particular, I feel like doesn't get enough credit for how kind of influential really it was. Like, this was kind of a groundbreaking album in a few ways. Like, no one really was kind of doing, other than maybe Witchfinder General, which they didn't come out until a year after this album. No one was really doing a mixture of kind of doom and like kind of traditional heavy metal. Granted, this isn't their most doomy album, but there is still doomy moments on here. I love all the songs on here almost. Well, except for maybe the closing instrumental. Maybe that's why I feel like it could have been good, but it kind of goes on for a bit too long. And it just kind of drags for me. But I mean, the title track is absolutely incredible. I'm Alive, Little Fire, What Does It Take, Edge of a Knife. I do love this album. I love the album cover. This is probably my favorite album cover they ever had, which is, I don't know, again, it's because Cirith Ungol, not Cirith Ungol, that's how you pronounce it in the Tolkien universe. Cirith Ungol has killer album covers, and I think Frost and Fire is probably my favorite of theirs. I do really enjoy this album. I think the production, honestly, is not bad. For 1981, I love this album. This band, I love all their albums. So for me, Frost and Fire, it's number 3. Coming in now at number 2, it is One Foot in Hell, released in 1986. This album and my number 1 are both kind of interchangeable for being my number 1, but I mean, this album is just absolutely awesome. I like kind of the darkness and the moodiness that they kind of embraced on this album, and there's, again, it's just some absolutely killer songs on here. Blood and Iron is awesome. Chaos Descends. Natsakar, I'm not sure how you say that one, but that song is killer. 100 Miles Per Hour is a speedy bastard. Doomed Planet is awesome, and the title track is also really good. I do really enjoy this album quite a lot. I don't think this album has any weak moments at all. I really have zero gripes with this album. Yeah, maybe the production isn't the greatest, but honestly, I feel like it kind of adds to the charm of this album rather than like taking it away. I've grown to like the mix on this album. And again, I love just all the songs. I love Tim Baker's vocals. He sounds absolutely fantastic. For me, One Foot in Hell, it's number 2, just only because 1 beats it out, but I absolutely love the shit out of this album. Number 1, my favorite Cirith Ungol album is King of the Dead, released in 1984. This album is absolutely just incredible. One of my favorite albums of all time, period. My God, this album is so goddamn good. For one, I think this might be Tim Baker's best vocal performance. He sounds absolutely amazing on here. And the production, again, I've grown to like the mix on it a lot. Maybe it's not objectively the greatest, but I think it really just adds to the charm of this album, and I really love it. And again, the songs, I love every song on here. Atom Smasher is incredible. Black Machine is awesome. Master of the Pit. The bass work on that song is absolutely amazing. Title track is a doomy song. Death of the Sun. Finger of Scorn. They do a cover of Johann Sebastian Bach's Toccata in D, which I thought was really cool on this album. Again, I love every song on this. All the riffs are fantastic. The bass work is just incredible on this album. I think this is the album where Cirith Ungol kind of just perfected their formula, and they wrote the best songs of their career, frankly. I love this album. This is my favorite Cirith Ungol album. Again, one of my favorite albums of all time. Number 1, King of the Dead. And, well, that about does it. If you made it to the end of this video, you're awesome, and I appreciate you. Do consider leaving a like, consider leaving a comment down below. Tell me, what do you think about these albums? What do you think about my rankings? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know. Do consider subscribing as well, because I do have a lot more content coming your way. And like I said, that about does it. I am just another Heavy Metal Maniac, of course. I'll see you all sometime in the future. In the meantime, all of you take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.